BLOCKCHANCE 2021.
Now he will speak about decentralized manufacturing with tokenized peppers. Please welcome Daniel Beck.
Thank you very much. So I hope everybody can hear me. It looks great here, this stage, and it's great to have you here as audience. So let's start. This project that I would like to introduce you today is called the DEMA platform. DEMA stands for Decentralized Manufacturing. Our company, Bionic Production, belongs to the Port of Hamburg, the HHLA here in Hamburg. And I firstly want to introduce what we do, what is the background, and why we do this. First of all, the HHLA have 4 divisions. The most famous one is, of course, the container division. Then we have the railway division, where we transport containers from A to B. We have the logistic division and the real estate division. So we belong more or less to the container and logistic division with our startups, Bionic Production. And our startup is not only the only startup in the group. There are several other startups belonging to the HHL Next. The HHL Next is rooftop organization where all the innovative topics within the HHLA is organized. So our startups is focusing on decentralized manufacturing and 3D printing. The other startup like HHLA Sky is organizing drones and drone software. Or the Hyperport is a startup that cares about Hyperloop system to transport containers from A to B very fast. Or the newest one is the hydrogen startup H2 HLA, who cares about the development of hydrogen here in Hamburg and on several ports. So as I said, our startup Bionic Production focusing on decentralized manufacturing solutions from the hardware side, but also from the software side, yeah? As well the additive manufacturing in principle. Why we care about decentral manufacturing? Why is this important? So there are several reasons. If you look to the different industries like automotive process industry or high-tech industry, warehouse costs are significant. Yeah? You have 13, 16, 22% of the cost that belongs to warehousing. Yeah? Why is these costs so high? It's because of overstock, about safety stock, about obsolete stocks in these warehousing. Yeah, you have high cost for unplanned production stops, and that's why all the industries pack their warehouses full with parts, yeah, in easy words. That's, of course, a high risk for lead times, and you have high logistic costs. You have very sensible supply chains and very complex multiple-step procurement steps, yeah. And all of this creates, of course, CO2 pollution, carbon. The carbon footprint is not very good in this case, yeah. An example below, for a typical situation of a spare part or industrial part at all, a metal part, for example, that is produced in a central factory in Asia, in a big factory, 10,000 pieces will be shipped to Europe, to a trading company, stock into a physical warehouse, go to the next step to the OEM sub-suppliers, after that to the OEM, like an automotive company, and then there is a distribution again to the point of use. That is a huge carbon footprint that at the end you have, and that's a problem for the future, yeah, for sustainability. That's why we're focusing on decentralized solutions, yeah. So because with decentralized solutions you have a production at the point of use, yeah. So you can save all these steps before, all these problems in your supply chain of transport from A to B to Z and back to A, and you can do a lot of good things for the sustainability. Yeah? From commercial point of view, it means, of course, that you need to work instead of physical warehouses with virtual warehouses. Yeah? You produce directly at the point of use, and you save long lead times. Yeah? You shorten the lead times. You reduce your obsolete stocks in the warehouse. Yeah? You make the production not for the warehouse, for the stock. You make it for your order, and at the end, you have a happy customer. Yeah, you have a higher customer satisfaction. Yeah, from sustainability point of view, of course, you reduce material and waste, and you reduce at the end your carbon footprint. Yeah, so that's the reason why decentralized manufacturing is the future, and why it's so important. So, what you need to do that? what is the way to come to this decentralization? You need hardware and you need software. So let's start with the hardware, where we also started 2-3 years ago. We produce the so-called mobile smart factory. This is an industrial container solution where we put a mobile microfactory in. It's in this case, wire arc printer, yeah, so it's a 3D printing device with a conventional turning and milling system inside where you can also finish the part, yeah. So within this machine, you are able to produce a complete industrial component for any kind of industry, yeah. So how it looks like, you see just the size, so our welding specialist is just producing one part in that machine. It's here in Hamburg right now, close to the tunnel on the other side. So we make a demo here for the next 2-3 months of this system. You can transport the system from A to B very easily. Within 60 minutes, you can set up the system and can produce parts everywhere in the world. So this is a very nice showcase how decentralized manufacturing with mobile solution can work. But decentralized manufacturing means not only with mobile devices, it means also with stationary factories in Brazil, in Australia, or somewhere else in the world. So it covers both. The topic covers both. Not only mobile factories, it covers also stationary factories. So, and that was the reason why we said, okay, when we go this way, we start with the hardware to have a showcase and start selling also this hardware. And then we go to the first customers. Yeah? They start 1.5 years ago, roughly. We go to big players, oil and gas players, players in the maritime industry, players in the automotive industry, very big players. And they told us, great idea, yes, we want to buy it, but we have a problem with our sub-suppliers. We have a problem with our suppliers because they have the production know-how right now. They know how to produce this component. And they will never give us this know-how. They will never give us this IP that we produce their part somewhere else in the world. They will never do that. And that's why I say, okay, we need a software solution. And then the idea was born for a blockchain solution, a DEMA platform, because these questions that pop up here were exactly the typical questions in disruptive situations. Yeah? So the manufacturing, decentral manufacturing means that it disrupts the service business of the suppliers today. You know, some sub-suppliers like Bosch, yeah, they produce, or big machinery companies, they have 20–30% of their business with service, yeah, with service of spare parts, of parts itself. And that's why they said they will have a problem with right now if we produce decentralized. Yeah? So how to use the IP of the current manufacturers to produce spare parts decentralized? This was an open question. How to let them participate and earn on this decentral manufacturing option. Yeah? And these questions rise up in all these communication with the big OEMs. And then we said, okay, we need a software that solves this problem. And then we came to this idea of a DEMA platform. So let me explain how the DEMA platform works in principle. First of all, the main idea is that we want to transfer a digital asset to a physical part. The physical part is somewhere else in the world, decentralized manufactured, in Brazil, for example. And this digital asset is an NFT token in this case that will be paid also with a DEMA native cryptocurrency. Our partners right now for the development of this project is IBM, and also from legal point of view, Linden Partners, because we have a couple of legal questions here also for compliance, and of course our mother company. So we started and said, okay, what is the first technical asset that we have? It's the CAD file of the component. But this is not what it is about. It's about the job code, the production code for a specific machine, how to produce this CAD drawing. This job code you need to transfer into an NFT token in the third step. And this NFT token you can trade and deal like a digital asset, yeah, a digital twin of a spare part. You can stock it into a virtual warehouse, you can sell it, you can buy it, you can bring it to a machine, and you can handle it like in the real world, a typical physical spare part, but transferred into the digital world, into a virtual warehouse. After that, the stock out of this NFT, there will be encryption of the job code again, directly on site, to be able to produce this job code directly on site, and there is a burning of the NFT token, and after burning of the NFT token, the cryptocurrency process starts to pay this whole process. And that's quite important, this cycle, to understand this cycle. If we look to the whole overview again, you can make a business module for the supplier out of this. That means the supplier on the left side, on point 2, can sell these job code piece by piece. So he not sell it like today, one time and it's gone, and the guys in Brazil can print it out 100 times and nobody know it. You can control the whole process in selling token by token and print or produce in classical way token by token on site. So this is a very perfect method to be able to use the blockchain on both sides. Yeah? On the NFT sides, to have a digital asset, to sell one piece of a component, produce one piece, have a burning process within this chain, and start to pay within cryptocurrencies all players in the supply chain. Because this is a very simple picture that you see here, supplier and OEM. The real supply chain is much more complex. There are suppliers, sub-suppliers, sub-sub-suppliers, and so on. And all of them would like to participate in this game, and that's why cryptocurrency is really good to distribute the different, let me call it dust, to all the players within the supply chain. Yeah? All the rules for this are, of course, defined in a smart contract, and the smart contract needs to be also audited by a player like the TUV, who are also in contact with us for these kind of processes. And in this way, you get trust in this blockchain process and blockchain project, and can realize the world of tomorrow and realize decentralized manufacturing. So that's all from my side. If you have more questions, let me know. Feel free. We have 4 more minutes. Yes.
How do you compensate for the missing of economy of scale, or is it just already working out, or are there some additional variables that you take in consideration?
I mean, we produce the hardware, yeah, and now we're working on also on a software solution like this platform. So you mean how to contribute in? I
mean, like one of these units, right? I mean, what is the output per hour or per second of the
okay, the hardware device.
Exactly,
okay.
in a factory, right? Like
I mean, first of all, it's important for this DEMA project is to understand that this mobile printing device is only an example, a showcase. Yeah. So it's not only about our piece of hardware; it's about all kind of pieces of hardware that can produce parts. Yeah. Yeah? So this was just the generator of the idea when we talk to customers. Yeah. But to come back to your question, so this device is able to produce within 1 hour roughly 2 to 3 kilograms of steel. Yeah. So if you calculate it down, so this kind of component you can do within 2, 3, 4 hours easily, and it's more for situations where you have a production stop. Yeah, where you need immediately a solution from the hardware point of view. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I see. So it's in.
Yeah.
Yes. Before it's now. Okay.
Yeah. But this is only one physical option how to produce parts. The bigger picture behind this platform is to use, for example, stationary factories in Brazil. So a local contract manufacturer in Brazil who is close to a Volkswagen factory. Yeah. Who have all the equipment to produce parts. But right now the parts come from Europe because the original manufacturing supplier sits somewhere else in the world in Asia. And we ship it 3 times around the world instead of using this Brazilian stationary factory to produce several components. Yeah? So it can cover all kind of machines. Yeah? The important thing is only the job code. The job code is of course related to the machine technology. So for example, if you have This is an example. Oh, this goes. There was one more slide as backup. I don't know, this was not my slide. Okay. For example, we are using the so-called G-code. G-code is in the turning and milling industry the standard, yeah, to tell the spindle how to produce the part, yeah. And there is production know-how inside of this G-code, yeah. So that means if you tokenize this G-code and create an NFT out of this, then you can put it on some other turning and milling machine in the world, and it produces exactly this part. And because the NFT allows you also a clear freezing for quality reason, you cannot change this code again, and that's perfect because you can guarantee quality. You can even go further and say this NFT is able, if it passes other countries, to make customs also clear. The customs duty you can pay on that digital asset. Yeah. That's also a future application that is possible. Yeah? Okay. Only one microphone. Yeah.
Wouldn't 3D printer be able to memorize the process?
Of course, there is a security topic directly at the machine. Yeah, so I think your question goes in this direction, that you can, yeah, copy more or less the production process. We solve this with a DLL-based sandbox. Yeah, so right now we're working on a hardware solution directly at the machine. So there will be an onboarding process to the platform that the machines that coming onto the platform has to have this sandbox. Let me call it sandbox with a DLL security topic inside, to guarantee that you cannot copy this unencrypted code, yeah, job code. That's of course a very, very important step within this whole project to guarantee this solution that nobody can encrypt it in the last mile. Let me call it. Yeah. Okay. Last question or two more questions. Sorry. If it's time. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Also, we have the next speaker, right?
Yeah, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Beck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
BLOCKCHANCE 2021.